Check, check. 1, 2. Test, test. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Testing 1, coup. Testing 1, coup. Well, that's exactly right. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. And what a goal that is, Luca, to veer off the bench. Cool.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
the afternoon here at Genesis Steel Stadium, beginning on a sombre note with a minute's silence for beloved member of the Macedonian community here in Melbourne, Tony Anastovsky, who sadly passed away. There's a memorial service being held for him tomorrow. Our thoughts go out to his family and to his son Darcy, who we've enjoyed commentating for many years in this competition. All right, let's get the football action underway in round 24. This is the last match thereof, and a crucial one for the Preston Lions as they look to close the gap to finals football and retain their place in the top 6. It's going down to the wire. Another 3-point deduction handed down during the week by Football Victoria, so Preston would be third. Instead, they sit 6th, and it is neck and neck in the race for the 6. A busy fixture list with midweek action against Brunswick Juventus means Zoran Markovski rings the changes. Only 4 retain their places from the 4-1 win against Brunswick Juve just down the road at CB Smith during the week. Those 4 are Ryan Scott in goal, Dom Felino in defence, Luca Tavira in midfield, and Leighton Brooks on the flank. Stefan Nigro and Sian Cuba start on the bench. No place in the squad for a host of stalwarts: Jamal Ali, Aidan Bryce, Oliver Kubalay, Noel Bernarda, and Gian Albano. We've got midweek action coming up against Melbourne City as well. So into the starting 11 come Jason Romero, Jonas Markovski, George Mihalides, Matt Bozanovsky, Daniel Lazarevsky, Zach Lisalewski, and Jay Romanovsky against his former club. On the bench, Mine, Zach Chianchi, Naoki Suto, and Anthony Burke-Gilroy, the former A-League player who is in line for a Preston Lions debut after joining mid-season but suffering through injury. For Dandenong Thunder, already relegated this season, they make 2 changes to the starting 11 from their last outing in the Dandenong Derby. Favour Akwete out of the squad. Yoshiki Terasaka drops to the bench. In comes Sunny Zijai and Ahmed Elmi. As we get ready for kickoff here, Preston in the red, Dandy Thunder in the white. And rounding out that Thunder starting lineup, Luis Alvarez, Sebdim Ismaili, Mersa Mehmedi, Frank Basasa, Ali Suleimani, the captain, Eden Irovsky, Adrian Tairi, Lant Maniek, Kataro Yamamoto. Changes on the bench as well, with Steven Sabanda and Lucas Alessi available amongst the substitutes, alongside Brandon Salievsky, Arian Korchari, and George Yanakarios. So a very youthful look for Dandenong Thunder today as they play for pride. Preston playing for points. As Leighton Brooks floats the first cross into the area. My name is Josh Parrish, and it's now time to introduce my co-caller for the afternoon, Katie Lambeski. Welcome.
Afternoon, Josh. Afternoon, everybody. Looking forward to this one. Lots of permutations as we head to finals. We know the plight of Dandy Thunder, unfortunately, but Preston looking to seal themselves in the finals, as you say, Josh. And also yesterday's results complicates things to a certain degree with Caroline Springs, George Cross defeating Avondale. So still all to play for on a glorious Melbourne afternoon, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this transpires throughout the 90 minutes or so.
Preston only retain their place in the top 6 via goal difference. Heidelberg dropping out to 7th after losing 5-4 against Hume City. An extraordinary afternoon. They were 3-1 up. If we get a barn burner like that today, we'll have our money's worth. Lant Maniek has already got his money's worth from Matt Bozanovsky. So he lies in a heap in the centre circle. Preston will play on for the time being. Markovski feeds one wide. Romero waiting in the middle. Got a touch on it. Lisalewski. And Brooks wasn't far away at all. Just clearing the crossbar. Preston with the first shot in anger. And Lant Maniek looks to the referee, wondering why he wasn't awarded a free kick several moments ago.
He's still feeling the impacts of that behind play here. Back up on his feet, but rather ginger. Matt Bozanovsky seeing to that. It'll be a massive blow for the Thunder if he can't continue. Maniak, of course, one of the bright lights of this season. Nevertheless, play will continue.
A couple of experienced heads at the back today for Thunder at least, in Ismaili and Mehmeti. Their 2 longest serving players. Not just after the mid-season changes, but even to start the season, they were the 2 stalwarts here. Over 300 games in the Victorian top flight between them. Sevilla, the Doherty Cup final hero, And nearly touches in midfield as Foligno spreads it wide to Lissalewski. And underlaps to find the pass of Brooks. Lissalewski's cross. A little too angled back for Luka Tavia. He caught his opponent there. Sonny Zijai. Another spell at Thunder for him. Bounced around a few of the clubs in the southeast, including Eastern Lions, Sonny Zijai, but Dandenong Thunder seems to be home. At least it's the place he keeps coming back to. Frank Busasa providing the width down the left. Bozanovsky took 2 bites at that one. Bit awkward for him. Romanovsky did just about enough. Tavia. First time from Brooks was off target. Preston had numbers on the counter-attack there. If Leighton Brooks had kept his cool. Instead it's Zijai. Has the beating of Romanovsky, but not for long. Mielides stepping in to make the interception. Lazarevsky takes over. The youngster spreads it wide. Markovsky involved. Floating switch from Mielides. Pretty young lineup for Preston today as well. Romero. Out to Romanovsky. Beats his man around the outside. Romanovsky's ball in. Cut out by Mehmeti. Bozanovsky attacking that one ahead of Yamamoto. Preston applying the pressure early doors. Tavia. Pass to Lazarevsky was well offline. And Thunder can regroup.
Interesting little setup as well. As you can see, Sonny Zijai just tucking in and just allowing Busasa on the overlap. So I like his positioning so far. He just hasn't had enough time and space just yet, but I like the intent behind that from the Thunder. I expected Preston to control majority possession and just try to drag the Thunder out. They look to do so here.
Sevilla, the give and go, and then a heavy touch. Ahmed Elmi who cleared the danger for Thunder. One for Romero to chase, and it runs away from him on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Unseasonably warm weather in Melbourne. A clear late winter's day.
Absolutely gorgeous day for it. Ideal day for football. No real breeze to speak of.
Used to rugging up for the Arctic here at Jenna Steele Stadium, especially on the commentary gantry, but today I wish I had packed the sunscreen.
And that'll do it sometimes in terms of commentating the NPL. It's not a glamorous lifestyle, people. Sometimes we'll have you, querying your life choices, but we love it nevertheless, and these are days which we just love it a little bit more.
Lissalewski. For Brooks. Little stutter step infield. Elmi's header away. Not quite cleaned up by Harovsky. Bozanovsky. Combination down the right-hand side allows Tavia to strike. And it's palmed away. The outstretched right paw of Luis Alvarez. Preston's first shot on target.
Tavia's quality very much evident early doors here. He looks the man most likely. So smart in the way he reads the play in terms of his work rate as well. What a luxury that is for Preston to have.
Romero, Tavia, Romanovsky encircling the penalty area now. Romanovsky has a second bite at this. Oh, a lovely spin, and floats it across the 6-yard box. Brooks to power it home. It's cleared off the line by Elmi. And Dandenong Thunder somehow survive. Well, it looked for all money like it was going to be a Preston opener.
The chance that was just absolutely begging to go in, but that was a gorgeous build-up, and of course that pass just opening it up from Tavia to Romanovsky. Look to see Preston exploit that throughout this afternoon.
Romero. Bozanovsky. Markovsky popping up on the right. Mielides slides it through. Romanovsky's low ball. Markovsky tries to get a piece of it. Romero got a toe to the ball, but it's cleared as far as the two Preston defenders waiting on the halfway line. And it's 5-4-1, men behind the ball at all times for Dandy Thunder. Romero jinks past one, past two. Romero! A touch on the way through, and Preston have a corner. Almost a sensational solo goal from the American.
Happy feet there from Jason Romero. Light on his feet, opening up the Dandy defense there. Everything but the finish. Preston just continued to knock here.
Floating ball in, Markovsky's header, and what a header it is! Markovsky from range rises highest to power home into the top corner. He scored off the bench against Brunswick Juve. Now he's hit a purple patch.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Jonas Markovsky. Tall, towering, looping header hits the back of the net, and that's exactly what Preston were after. An early goal, maybe to settle the nerves. No, absolutely no bearing of any fatigue here at the moment. This side looks refreshed and rejuvenated, and why wouldn't it? Absolutely depth for days. But it's again how you execute. And Markovsky leads the way on that. 1-0 to the home side.
Up like a spawning salmon, Jonas Markovsky. Absolutely brilliant. Looked like he had no right to score with his head from there.
Looked so far out, didn't it, in terms of distance, just past the penalty spot, and how accurate it was too.
When you take into account the angle, that's got to have been 14, 15 yards.
Easily. In terms of the angle, in terms of the curl, like minimal margin for error there. Spotted it beautifully.
Rarely see a header scored from almost the edge of the box, but Jonas Markovsky has made it happen. Had some injury issues this season, been in and out of the team. That's the last thing Thunder need as well, to be fair. They would have wanted to frustrate and pin back Preston and keep out Preston for as long as possible. That's only lasted 10 minutes, so now it's going to force them to take a bit more risks and come further up the pitch a little bit more. Preston can't rest on their laurels, but to be honest, Danny have their work cut out here. Romanovsky wins it back. High up the pitch, the attempted backheel from Lazarevsky, and then it's crept in at the near post, and it's that man Markovsky again. On a hat-trick already.
Double the money, that's the brace from Jonas Markovsky. When you're hot, you got to strike, and that's what he's done there. Brilliant again from the marksman.
Well, it's all coming at once for Jonas Markovsky. He had one league goal coming into this game. Now he's got two in the same game. Scored a few in the cups as well, but I think Luis Alvarez will not enjoy seeing that one back. Accurate though the left-footed strike was, seemed to lack a bit of purchase, and the goalkeeper wrong-footed at his near stick.
Yeah, just had to scramble there. He just couldn't quite get it done. Alvarez, like you mentioned, he'll want that one back, but Jonas Markovsky when he hits, they tend to stay hit, and when he tends to score, they tend to come in waves. That's what a luxury it is, by the way, for Preston to be able to call on the likes of Markovski. Brilliant stuff, particularly as the schedule only gets busier from here on.
It's just an ideal start for Preston. So comfortable so early. And now they're having fun out there. And Dandy Thunder, well, without wanting to bring back ghosts of Christmas past, they lost a game earlier this season, 11-0 to Avondale. They could be on for another big scoreline here if they don't get their act together quick smart.
More like a cricket score potentially in the offing here. Preston don't look like in a mood to ease up.
Not yet anyway, certainly not in this first half. Brooks. Cut backs towards Tavia. Thought about the strike. Instead he finds a clever little pass inside to Romero. Mialides lashes at it and scuffs it wide.
Of course, Mialides screening the midfield, screening the back four in place of Oli Kubalate. While the personnel may change, the structures do not, and it's incredible to see just how fluent this Preston lineup is in terms of how they understand each other's games and their role within the system. Brilliantly coached by Zoki Markovski, as we know.
Seems to be more of a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 at times, as opposed to Preston's usual 4-3-3. There's a slight variation with Romero in there. Sevilla playing slightly deeper than he's used to. Mialides had such a long spell out injured after going down against Altona in round 13. Only made his return a couple of weeks ago against Bentley. Such a good option to have in there. Preston suddenly have depth in holding midfield, which they haven't had all season. Brooks caught. Maniac making a nuisance of himself. He's been one of the breakout stars this season for Thunder, a silver lining. You imagine there'll be suitors lining up for him in the off-season. Well, after his hot start, hasn't added to his 6 league goals. It's more of a function of the lack of service around him.
Very true, very true. I mean, you remarked upon it off air, Josh, in terms of it's amazing that Dandy were able to keep him, even in the mass exodus that they experienced. So, full credit to his loyalty, but I suspect Dandy Thunder fans should enjoy seeing him in their colours, because I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to get for that. Brilliant footballer.
Frustrating campaign for the Thunder after the soaring success of last season, which came to a crashing halt, eliminated by eventual finalists Dandenong City on their home deck in round 1 of the final series. Strangely, this fixture brings to mind, well, let's hold that thought, as Romero was found by Brooks, and there could be another sweeping move here on for Preston. As Romanovski crosses, and it was Elmi again who turns it behind for a corner. But last day of the season, last time out, Thunder were concerned about suspensions and rested a number of key players against Preston, and ended up being a pretty straightforward Preston win. And on a warm Sunday afternoon, it brings to mind a similar sort of game. Even though Thunder were preparing for a finals campaign and not already relegated, they had little to play for then as well. Tavia for Mialides. Tavia! Oh, the short corner routine nearly comes off a treat.
Straight from the training pitch, that looks like.
And Preston, a side who hasn't really troubled opposition defences too often from set pieces, will be delighted with their set pieces so far. Bozanovski for Lazarevski, and lines cleared by Ismaili. Still the competition's sturdiest defence on 18 goals conceded, although they have a couple of games in hand on some of their opponents now. including this one today. But if they keep 3 clean sheets to end the season, they will break Oakley's record from 2014. As the NPL Victoria side, and that's NPL Victoria era only, with the best defensive record for an NPL campaign. It's still on for them if they don't concede another goal.
I wonder if that's pinned up in the Preston locker room. If I'm Zoki Markovsky, I would do that across the board. The clean sheet record in the offing.
Sasa hits the deck, and the referee points for a free kick.
In a familiar kind of trend I think we've expected in this game, just Preston controlling a lot of possession and territory and where this game is played. Dandy really not offering much of a threat in the other direction. Sunny Zijai maybe had a flash or two, but again they have the strength there, and that's not going to do it. Preston seem very well in tuned in terms of the Dandy Thunder counters as well. They're well marshalled, they're well led by Matt Borzinovski.
Another Preston foray down the right. It's only cleared as far as Romanovsky, who'd love a goal against his old club. Doesn't catch hold of it.
One of the mid to late season recruits from Preston. Romanovsky there, he's absolutely shown flashes of brilliance for Dandy. That's why he's earned this move. So threatening with his crosses from those wide positions. Only 20 years old, so the sky is the limit for him.
And a real gem for NPL clubs to have an under-21 player who can start. Given the regulations, you've got to have one in your squad every week.
That's a welcome regulation in my view.
Well, it certainly resulted in clubs looking for these guys, and Preston have a number of them today. Lazarevsky, Lisolejski, Mialides as well. The young talent is out there, and I think some of those A-League youth academies will have trouble holding on to some of their best talents now, because the resource of NPL clubs is closing the gap. And these under-23s are higher prized than ever before.
The resources and the ambition, increasing ambition of NPL Victoria clubs as well.
Yamamoto has his pocket picked. So much ground Luka Tavia covers, all the way back in the right back position there. Now it's Lisolejski. Down the corner from Brooks, Lisolejski onto the chest of Lazarevsky. Romero. Slide rule pass for Tavia. And he couldn't get a shot away or find a teammate. So it's cleared all the way out to Foligno. An attack v defence training drill at times for Preston. Markovsky. Tavia. He was looking for the feed of Lazarevsky but didn't connect.
He's still pretty much at the forefront of everything Preston are doing in an attacking sense. Luka Tavia, phenomenal work rate. Adding to that, his ability to pick open passes and to be decisive and to be direct. He's a quality performer. What Perth Glory were thinking of letting him go, I don't know. Preston's loss, Perth's loss, Preston's gain, let's say that.
Brooks. step on his marker. Helmy across to help out. And Brooks sent to the byline. Can't keep it in play. Positive play from Brooks. Beat the first man. Just couldn't connect with a teammate thereafter. Thunder don't seem in any particular hurry to get this goal kick going. It's a short one across their own 6-yard box. That's elegantly done, though, from Mercer Mehmedi. Beautiful footwork and a great pass to find Maniak. And now Thunder are on the attack. Well worked from the goal kick. Basasa. As Mihalides in pursuit. Floating delivery to the back stick. And Tavia, Mr. Everywhere, cleans up the danger for Preston. Brooks buys a throw off the outstretched leg of Adrian Tahiri. And they've done it for a few weeks now, but I'll never get used to seeing Ali Soleimani as a central midfielder.
It feels weird, doesn't it?
He's played just about every position for Thunder over the years. Winger, fullback, wingback, striker even for a brief period.
My sense is he'd play goalkeeper if they asked him to.
He lives and breathes this club, but central midfield is an interesting one. I think needs must. Severe. Mihalides. Return ball to Romanovsky, but the touch was too heavy. So he just took a slight deflection off the defender, and Romanovsky couldn't take it in stride as a result. But intricate combination play straight off the training ground again from Preston.
Just those repeat movements, isn't it? It's almost they could go to sleep and dream of it in terms of the way Preston move, in terms of the movement on and off the ball, I should say. This is what has separated them from Dandy Thunder in this here and now. Might be coming forward again here.
It's Romero. Mihalides. Slid through by Tavia. Bit of work to do for Markovsky, and he can't win the corner. Thought he had. Even kicked the ball to the corner flag to make the point. And he's having a productive afternoon so far. 2 goals to his name already. Wasn't really able to make the central striking position his own in the early part of the season, but playing off the flank today, doing so with real effectiveness. Oh, Tavia steams in, wins the ball, and strikes the goal, and rattles the post off the crossbar again. How has that stayed out? Lazarevsky it was with the follow-up. Both he and Luka Tavia desperately unlucky.
Looking at that replay there, just dwelling on the ball a little bit too much, and that just allowed Tavira an opening to be that pressing trigger. And that just allowed 2 ridiculous chances. They might get another one quick, smart here.
Tavia just seems to have too much energy for his opponents today. He really anticipated that situation. You can see him running from quite a while away, spotting that the Thunder player didn't quite have his body position right, was on his heels, receiving that pass. And one back high up the pitch again, Romero! Well, Preston have been wasteful in this first half. They could have 5. And Dandy Thunder, if they turn it over in their own penalty area, they only have themselves to blame.
Just these silly little mistakes that Preston have just let go. Of course, Jonas Markovsky doubling up early on. on a hat-trick.
Goal difference could prove crucial when it comes to these finals places. It is so tight on the table, so Preston don't want to leave too many out there. Thunder shooting themselves in the foot. As good as he's been this season, Maniac, I think, should be winning that header against Foligno. He's got the height advantage. Just didn't judge the flight of the ball.
100%. Turnover, though.
Now it's Tavia who's at fault. Thunder steam forward, well, not for long. Move through, Yamamoto breaks down. Brooks. Past Tairi. Little reverse for Markovsky. Romero's arriving! And couldn't adjust his body in time. Came at an awkward height for him. Again, slick combination play. Markovsky making the diagonal run from right to left. Picked out by Brooks. And then Romero filling the lane in the middle. It's easy to say against already relegated opposition, but Jonas Markovsky seems almost freed up by his role on the right-hand side, drifting in wherever he wants.
Well, even if you look back to his days at Altona Magic, he had Sean Cuba, he had Tommy Semi. You know, he had players who he could play off, and that's where I think he's at his best, helping supply players and getting on the end of team moves.
Darcy Anastovsky as well, who we've already mentioned on the broadcast today, for more unfortunate reasons, but those three had a pretty versatile and free-flowing front line. In that season where Altona surprised everybody by making the finals.
And Jonas won the Golden Boot that year too.
19 goals he scored. Hasn't quite recaptured those heights since he's moved to the A-League with Brisbane Roar and his stint in Japan.
Brilliant player, but maybe not the out-and-out striker that he might be otherwise marketed as or might be stereotyped as. He's someone who's more like a second or like a centre forward or more like a second striker. He's enjoying the space on the wing as well, so what an all-round player he is.
Markovsky. Lazarevsky, Mialides with a little drag back. It was clever. Tavia can't pick it off. Maniac will accelerate the other way. Romero putting in the hard yards to make up the ground. Yamamoto. Suleimani. Showed too much of it to Brooks. And he races the other way. Brooks has Markovsky in support, and he can't release the ball in time. He's taken out for his troubles. You hear a few complaints from the grandstand, wanting a booking for that. Sevdam Ismaili races away from the scene of the crime. Well, there's only one candidate to take this.
It's a decent angle too. Distance may be a trouble.
We've seen him score some stunning goals from this sort of range. Against Melbourne victory last year, Jonas Markovsky nailed one from that sort of distance at the other end of the ground. Here he stands over a free kick. It's Markovsky with a low and scuffed effort, which is an easy save for Luis Alvarez. Maniac got the better of Lisolaski, but was deemed to have done so illegally. Under bench up in arms about that. Brooks. Tavia cuts in field and sees his effort blocked. Mihalides. Romero. Romanovsky. Cheeking this way and that. Back to Bozanovsky. Tavia. Feeds it wide. Lisalewski. Romero switching the play. Markovsky. Tavia trying to pick out a forward run. His eyes up for it. A long spell of Preston possession this. Patient build-up. Mihalides chips it wide to Zach Lisalewski. Romero. Again shifting from left to right. Mihalides. Mihalides sidestepping his man again. Tavia flips it to the back post. And danger cleared for now by Adrian Tairi. That was a long, gradual encampment around the Dandenong Thunder penalty area. It's an exercise in concentration for these Thunder defenders. And they've passed as they win a goal kick.
Preston just manoeuvring left and right, just trying to poke holes in that Dandy Thunder setup. Full credit to Dandy Thunder as well. They were not deterred by that. They were just held their space, held their positions. Just were able to keep Preston out, but again, they're well pinned back. The quality, the gap in quality is quite evident here. Preston continuing to circle.
Turned over by Markovsky, and now Maniek taken down by Mihalides. He looks nervously towards the referee, no booking. Quick restart and a lovely spin from Lut Maniek. Amounts to nothing in the end. Sasa came out on top in that duel. Fringe player at Hume City this season. He's come to Thunder for more first team football.
And solid today, to be fair. He's held his space quite well. He's looked to be positive and at least try to get some opening on the transition there whenever Dandy do get those opportunities, but he's just found himself shut out, much like most of this Dandy lineup.
Elmi. It's a good ball to find Maniek. And now Yamamoto. Back to Tairi. Exchanging passes with Suleimani. Could there be something on for Thunder here? Suleimani's ball in. Romanovsky didn't get clean contact. Zijai lets it run to Busasa. And then the delivery lacks really any sort of enthusiasm. And look at the spin move. Zidane inspired from George Mihalides.
Bit of a roulette there move from Mihalides. Absolutely gorgeous.
Not sure if he was born in time to see Zinedine Zidane play. Probably not. I suspect most of my footballing references are outdated, Katie.
Well, that makes both of us. I think we're both showing our age here, man.
He probably was born the year Zidane retired, actually. I'll have to look that up.
Nevertheless, the man himself is timeless. His influence is timeless, so we'll give it that. That'll help make us our age gap a little bit more easier on the eye, I know.
You might know the skill move on FIFA. Turnover from Brooks. Thunder the other way. Maniek. Thunder yet to muster a shot, let alone a shot on target. So Ryan Scott untroubled so far this afternoon. Question is, can Preston add to their tally before the break? Brooks for Romero. It's a warm afternoon out there for these players. Lovely for the spectators, of course. Patiently knocking it around, waiting for the chance to strike here. Tavia slides it through. And Preston win a corner. Well done by Romanovsky again, who's been very busy down the right-hand side.
He's been busy down the right-hand flank, as you point out. Preston's first goal coming from Jonas Markovski from a set piece. Looking for a third.
It's Tavia's delivery. Markovski's the target again! Well, got underneath that one. Expecting to see the net bulge. It was probably a more difficult header he scored with.
Very little margin for error for that first one. A bit more of a easy, as you mentioned, a bit more of a better chance. That time around, just couldn't quite get the header down.
Arguably had a few more bodies in the way. But
True.
Zaleski's clearance thunders into Lart Maniek. Well, the skipper, Ryan Scott, is out there driving standards. Apologies for any youngsters watching on. If you caught that over the FX mic, but that's sort of uncompromising leadership he brings between the sticks. Trying to wake Preston up a bit. Don't want to rest on their laurels. And the tempo has raised. Markovski was wrong-footed. Tavia. Lazarevsky slides it back for Markovski. And now Markovski again! Oh, he skied it. Well, that was the chance for the hat-trick for Jonas Markovski. Dynamic movement in the Preston front line. And he couldn't keep his shot down when the chance came. Let's see what he was trying to do, to drive it over the goalkeeper and into the roof of the net.
Superb movement from Jonas Markovski. Superb movement on and off the ball. Everything but the finish. I don't know how many much more better chances he'll get than that for the hat-trick, but again, we know how strong he is. He won't necessarily let that deter him. Preston leaving goals out there at the moment.
Pretty statuesque defending from Thunder, but clever from Markovski, just playing off the shoulder and on the blind side of players that should have been picking him up. Thought he was offside, he wasn't. Three minutes of regulation to play in this first half. It's been all Preston all the time. 16 shots to zip. Oh, Brooks. With the blind effort. And Suleimani takes over. Yamamoto for Maniek. 3 white shirts forward. Preston numbers racing back to close the space. Tavia in a foot race with Maniek. And a wrestling match too. And Maniek in frustration pulls the trigger well after the whistle had gone.
He's presented well, all things considered, Maniac, throughout the lack of opportunities he's had. He's still proving as a focal point, but again, just that lapse of concentration, that lack of quality around him doesn't quite help.
Lazareski does well to keep it. Romero spreads it wide. Romanovsky. Vasilevsky. It's picked off by Suleimani. Oh, over ambitious from Foligno. Vasilevsky had an arm across his man, and Maniac will get the free kick.
Haven't had many chances to apply pressure going the other way here, Dandy. Time ticking down. Why not take the risk? Why not take some chances here?
Running on the fourth official's board, it's Tahiri. Can't find a teammate.
Seeing off that pressure was Preston.
And just 1 minute to be added at the end of this first half. Markovsky. Mihalidis. Vasilevsky will unleash, and it was always a hopeful strike. Did score from that sort of range against Bentley Greens, albeit with the keeper out of position.
Just need up the intensity a little bit more here, though, Preston. They've just kind of let this meander in the last few moments. They've left some goals out there. Of course, they got some opportunities off the bench as well.
And that's the end of the first 45 here in Reservoir. And so far, it's comfortable for Preston. I imagine they may make further changes if they score a third. With a heavy fixture list on the horizon, Dandenong Thunder failing to really register a shot in anger. But still, the margin is not insurmountable for the Thunder. Jonas Markovsky is the difference maker. A double in the first half. He could have had a hat-trick, but that superb soaring header, one of the highlights of his season. The halftime score at Genesteel Stadium is Preston Lions 2, Dandenong Thunder 0. Katie Lambeski, your final thoughts on this first half?
As expected, to be fair, Preston taking the lead. Preston really dominant in patches. I still think they've got another gear to go, and they've still left some goals out there. But nevertheless, kudos to the Thunder for most part, holding their nerve. But again, they just look outclassed. They look outgunned. I don't see a way back for them. I know it's not insurmountable, but again, I think there's just that gap in quality that's evident here. But stranger things have happened, and we'll look forward to that in the second 45.
We'll sign off here for the time being. Stay with us on the Senol NPL Victoria broadcast. In round 24, the halftime score is Preston Lions 2, Dandenong Thunder 0. As we get ready to kick off the second half, we welcome you back to Jenna Steele Stadium in Reservoir, where Preston Lions lead Dandenong Thunder by 2-0, both scored by Jonas Markovski. Changes for both sides at the break. There's a change between the sticks for Preston as Ryan Scott makes way. And Mayan sees league minutes for the first time. He was the penalty shootout hero against Keilor Park in their Doherty Cup run. The former Avondale understudy making his NPL Victoria debut for Preston. And the change on the left flank for Dandy Thunder. Off comes Sonny Zijai to be replaced by Yoshiki Terasaka. It's a decent find for Thunder. Given he was previously playing in Mongolia. And players come in from Andorra to Hume City, Chris Engelhardt. All corners of the globe assembling in the centre of the universe. And as Romanovsky thinks about the strike. Juggles one, scoops it into the 6-yard box. Romero attacking it, and it just lifts onto the roof of the net. Over the crossbar, over a relieved Luis Alvarez in the Thunder goal. Preston with an early opportunity to make it 3.
He's been prominent in that respect, Jason Romero. He's bobbed up. Has been a nuisance for the Dandy Thunder defence, but he can't quite get one into the back of the net.
About Jay Romanovsky's performance, marauding from right back today. He's been in the attacking third more often than he's been in defence, I think.
He's camped out there and made that his own. Such a tricky player, and then when he makes those runs from deep, it's even harder to track. Because we don't have many situations like this when he has a team parked back, so he's had a lot of freedom to roam. They haven't quite kept him accountable, which I think is kind of a failure on the Thunder's part.
Ismaili. Layoff from Yamamoto. Bozanovsky went in with the studs showing, and he'll be punished with a yellow card. First booking of the afternoon. It's only his second of the campaign, so as long as he keeps his nose clean for the rest of the game, Bozanovsky won't be in suspension trouble anytime soon. Extra responsibility for him in the second half as he dons the captain's armband.
Good work from Lazarevsky there just to block and hold the space there. Opens up a counter for Preston.
Suleimani lying in a heap as Tavia picks out Brooks. He was just offside there. Line ball call from the assistant. And it gives the officials a chance to check on Ali Suleimani, who's holding that right elbow. Suleimani was telling his own bench to calm down there.
Very much a leadership figure for this club, and this is a better move by the Thunder.
Terasaka strikes the outstretched arm of Romanovsky. Not too many protests. Preston's number 12, Key New. So a set-piece chance for the Thunder, and Mercer Mehmedi has a pretty cultured left foot from these scenarios. Don't have a lot of height to send forward though. Fairly diminutive central defensive pairing today. Palanki, Maniac, the obvious target. Ismaili in there as well. can Mehmeti produce? First test for Mayan, and he gathers confidently. He gets a roar of approval from the Preston grandstand.
Well, without him, that prestigious Stockerty Cup win a couple of weeks ago is not possible, so the Preston fans voicing their appreciation here.
Tavia. Intercepted.
I like the approach there, looking for Maniac on the break, or trying to just go long and just trying to flip the pitch a little bit more. Only going to get as far as Brooks here.
Neatly done by Brooks. Romero takes over. Shifted by Romero, and then Lazarevsky almost beating Alvarez to the punch at the near stick. Actually a good grab from Alvarez. Again, playing with fire on the edge of their own penalty area. A little bobble for Alvarez was unkind as well. Drives one forward towards Yamamoto. Coughed it straight up to Mihalides, and now Tavia helps it on cleverly, and it's Markovsky for the hat-trick, and he's got it! It's Jonas Markovsky's day. Preston 3 and clear, and there is one man to thank.
That man, Jonas Markovsky, at it again. Just holds his space, doesn't blaze away, just takes the shot. He sees the opportunity, takes a moment to take a touch, and strikes it to the bottom left. Brilliant. Almost like a complete hat-trick here. Left foot, right foot header. What a brilliant performance there by the marksman.
A perfect sunny Sunday afternoon in Reservoir, and a perfect hat-trick for Jonas Markovsky. The match ball is his. One of the best headed goals you're likely to see. Delicately placed left footer beat the keeper at the near stick, and a driven right foot pile driver across the goalkeeper to complete the trio. Now Thunder, as if to sum up their misery, turn it over straight from kickoff and concede a free kick on the edge of their own box. Now Soleimani goes into the book, potentially for something he said.
For dissent, that looks like. But again, it's just these silly errors that have crept into Dandy's game that have really penalised them and have really put them behind the 8 ball. It's all well and good to be outmatched. That's fine, but also you can still execute and still play your part. And some of these mistakes, some of these lack of concentration, it just really put them behind even further. Just makes your day so much harder, and probably shows you why that they're in the predicament that they're in.
Tavia fancies it from all of 25 yards. It's Luca Tavia. Draws a save out of Alvarez. Sharp stop as well. An awkward bobble inside the penalty area, and the goalkeeper relieved as his fingertip touch turns it around the post.
That's now officially, I think, 20 chances, 20 shots recorded for Preston this afternoon. They just keep on coming.
Tavia drives it towards the edge of the box. Clever from Markovsky. And now Romanovsky's shot is deflected. So another Preston corner. Tavia. Rolled back for Romanovsky. Mihalides. Oh, that's a wayward effort. Closer to the corner flag than the goal from George Mihalides. Just bent completely the wrong way.
That was definitely looking for the shot and not quite across. A blot on the copybook today. He's been quite tidy. I think he might want that one back, though.
So, if he had meant that as a cross, it was very creative. Again turned over by Thunder. Oh, and Suleimani. Well, he could be in trouble here, and he knows it. He's already on a yellow. Was the contact intentional from Ali Suleimani? The challenge was from behind.
Yeah, that's got to be a second yellow. Just like taking a look at our little replay screen up here. Despite the fact that he's in a world of pain at the moment, I don't think it's going to stop our man in the middle today from showing a second yellow.
The trainer's out for Ali Suleimani. He may well have come off second best, and maybe the referee will take pity on him as a result.
Maybe. He's indispensable to this club, you have to say, Ali Suleimani, in spite of all the exodus around him. He's the one to hold the fort alongside some others, so fair play to him and what he's been able to contribute for this club and what he means to the Thunder. Well, that's not a good sign at all.
The last things that Thunder can afford is to lose another of their experienced stalwarts. They've got precious few of them left. Looks like a Preston debut is in the offing for Anthony Burke-Gilroy. Wide player. He's played in the A-League for Brisbane Roar.
Goes to show you the embarrassment of riches that Preston still boast. Suleimani heads to the touchline with the help of his physio. No changes being readied yet from the Thunder, just to the left of us, but we'll keep an eye on that.
I think Arian Kochari has just stripped off, just as you were speaking there, Katie, so it may indeed be a Thunder change, and Ali Suleimani may well go straight to the dressing rooms. That's a hammer blow.
Might be temporarily down. Oh no, they won't be temporarily down to 10. Will be the change that you've noticed, Josh.
Here's Arian Kochari on in midfield. Another of the young brigade. Preston will wait to make their double change. Luca Tavia goes for goal again, and draws another save out of Alvarez.
I think this will be the 7th corner for Preston. Now, as a result, we noted just how diminutive this Dandy defense is, and this is where the set pieces have been proven crucial. Might do so here.
We've got the towering figure of Matt Bozanovsky as well. Well, here comes the change for Preston. And that'll be Luca Tavia's last involvement. A well-deserved rest for him. He's been so important in their recent successes. An unbeaten run of form. So they will save his legs for Melbourne City on Wednesday night. It's Saturday, Wednesday coming up for Preston. A make-up game against Melbourne City at home, followed by a trip to Frank Holohan on Saturday, and then the big one against South Melbourne, Australia Cup quarter-final here at BT Connor Reserve. Plenty of midweek action to come. And Bozanovsky meets it. And I think he headed that into his marker, which took all the pace off the ball. Naoki Suto on for Clayton Brooks as well. Lazarevsky slides it through. Romanovsky almost got there. Morovsky's last-ditch tackle puts it behind for another Preston corner.
firing on all cylinders here now, Preston, and it is going to show you they've added a bit more speed and a bit more directness to their game, and as a result it's put Danny right back on their heels.
Mialidi saw the overhead kick. Well, that would have been special from Daniel Lazarevsky. Acrobatic stuff. Goodness me. The goal of the season contender. It's actually been, not sure if you could say cleared off the line, but cleared just in front of his goalkeeper, Hi Basasa.
Last ditch defending at its best.
Good challenge from Burke Gilroy. An important tackle. Stopped Lartmaniak streaking away on the break. Romanovsky. Sizing up Terasaka. Now Markovsky. He's having a day out in the sun. Lazarevsky. And that'll be a goal kick. Well, the result seems all but secured, Katie, but these Preston players, they need to put their best foot forward to get in the team in these last few weeks of the season, because Preston, without usual injury crisis that seems to envelop them every season, suddenly they've got options aplenty.
Absolutely. We spoke of the names that were missing from this lineup, and of course the rotation. Again, squad management is so important, so is competition for places, so the players know full well the situation is. They'll be all too aware of it when they're at training as well, just in terms of just how much competition that there is and how much depth there is. So fair play, it's a time to put the best foot forward, and I'm really intrigued by the fact that Anthony Burke-Gilroy has made his debut. It's one of the, I think, stories of the afternoon for Preston, to be fair.
He's not yet been cited since his mid-season arrival, but a versatile wide player, either fullback, either wing position.
Yep.
Wing back as well if Preston decide to go that way.
Again, the type of player and the attributes matter so much, and when you have that versatility, it just gives you more opportunities here. He bursts forward.
Romero. Lisolaski helps it on, and now Burke Gilroy with a chance to deliver. It's into the path of Lisolaski. He was offside. Lazarevsky turned it home after the whistle had blown. Well, a flowing move from back to front from Preston. Interrupted by the offside flag.
They don't have the answers, they don't have the quality to limit something like what they're getting from Preston here. Preston, just in terms of the way they're moving the ball, just how sharp that they've been in possession, and how well that they've been able to read any kind of potential for counter-attacks as well. They've just controlled the pitch brilliantly. I know that the concern with Preston was a lot of throughout this season was just how they could gel together in terms of just how much players that they've had to bring through. Now it seems like there's a strong awareness of who the best 11 is. There's a strong awareness of who they have in the squad. Chance opportunity.
Markovsky is going to go from distance. You can hardly blame him after the afternoon he's had. But perhaps slipping through Jason Romero was the more team first option.
And a little apology there as well from Markovsky to Romero. But why not? Why not take the shot on? You see the keeper just well off their line. Bojanovski getting involved in the attack as well.
And he'll pile into the box for this free kick. Everybody wants a goal now. Just the one goal in the league this season, Bojanovski. Romero find him here. Alvarez off his line, and that's a contested mark in footy parlance. Commanding goalkeeping from Alvarez that time. Kachari. Well, curiously enough, Bert Gilroy's gone to left back, and Zach Lisolewski is playing at left wing. A guy who's probably long-term future as a central defender is now playing in the forward line.
That being said, he has shown a willingness to overlap. He's really shown a quality of trying to get involved in the attack. So it's a bit more deeper now. So that's a very interesting approach by Zoran Markovsky. And why not? You've got the opportunity to do exactly that, to take a bit more risk. You're 3-0 up. Why not change some things, or why not experiment with some things, particularly later on in the season?
Plan seems to be find Lisolewski wide, and Bert Gilroy runs from deep beyond him. Didn't connect that time, though. Romanovsky out the other side. Markovsky. Beaten to the ball by Yoshiki Terasaka. Lisolewski, the looping ball. Suto's header onto the chest of Lazarevski. Mialides. Well, the intention was clear, the execution wasn't.
So lots of space here now.
Elmi is in a bit of trouble. He's managed to win the free kick off Naoki Suto. A win here will lift Preston back into 5th position.
And also an 18-goal difference.
That's striking, especially when you consider that Georgies are only on +1, Heidelberg on +5. They will be 2 points clear of George Cross in 6th and 3 points clear of Heidelberg in 7th. It's still a game in hand to play against Melbourne City on Wednesday. That game is huge for Preston now.
Could well end Melbourne City's season as well.
Melbourne City ousted pretty convincingly yesterday by South Melbourne. They started the season so strongly, but when some of the options diminish in the back end of the campaign, it's tough to keep that going.
And some of their best, to be fair. Melbourne City has been breathtaking as well. Roland Ballard as well, with his impact on the NPL this year.
Lazarevski. Latmaniak will go for goal, and he's a way away from finding the target.
Couldn't quite get purchase on that, to say the least.
68 minutes and 50 odd seconds. That's how long it's taken Dandenong Thunder to register a shot this afternoon.
Tells the story. Looked calm and in control and looked assertive from the outset, have Preston. And fair play, like in terms of just how busy their schedule is, almost resembles a European League schedule.
This is the kind of afternoon they were hoping for. Wasn't straightforward against Green Gully, who were already relegated on the night, whether they knew it or not. After their draw against Stanley City was ruled a 3-0 loss. But, against opposition who have nothing to play for this season. and few resources to do it with. Preston have looked superior on the pitch as they've looked on paper. Short corner routine, Romero. Negro and Chianchi ready to come on. Romero's low ball is easily dealt with. Mr. Mehmedi with the clearance. Romanovsky. Markovsky.
Ooh.
Romanovsky did foul Basasa, but had the advantage call from here. It's Terasaka finds Lat Maniek. Around the outside of Suto. Maniek! Well, whether it was a shot or a cross, didn't come close to succeeding in either category. And a frustrating old afternoon for Lat Maniek. Jay Romanovsky will make way. He's worked so hard this afternoon. Fantastic display from him. He's a pretty obvious man of the match, but Romanovsky would be my pick at the best of the rest.
Should factor into our team of the week considerations, that's for sure. Brilliant effort.
Off comes Dom Felino. Vasilevsky will go from left wing to central defence. A complete reshuffle for Preston as Negro comes on. Gianchi on the left wing. And Gianchi straight into the action. He's had a great couple of weeks. A stunning double against Green Gully in a 2-2 draw, and the opening goal against Heidelberg in the Doherty Cup final. Been absolutely superb. Didn't play a part against Brunswick Juve on Wednesday, so he's nice and fresh for the last few minutes of this one and for the visit of Melbourne City on Wednesday night.
For you to be welcome back as well. Sean Cuban, Noel Bernardo too. All eyes will turn to that one on Wednesday night.
Jamal Ali, Aiden Bryce, Oli Kubale, you'd expect they'll all be involved. And maybe some selection headaches now for Zoran Markovsky after how well a few of these players have performed today. Basasa. Basasa will pump it long. Mayan well outside his box. Goes for the safe option. Ismaili.
Rare bit of possession there from a rare bit of possession and foray forward there from Danny Thunder. Well played by Suto just to read that.
Well won by the Japanese midfielder. Gianchi has the beating of his man Elmi. Smaley comes out of the back line to put pressure on. Mihalides with the switch of play. Now Negro for Markovsky. Markovsky around the outside. Romero winning a corner. Preston's corner count approaching double digits this afternoon.
Tell us the story of just how, where this game has been played. The set pieces have been a threat throughout the afternoon.
Mihalides with the delivery. Lazarevsky helps it on. Alvarez opts for the palm away. And then Bozanovsky trying something acrobatic. And couldn't get it on target. Basasa in the way. Again, Matt Bozanovsky saw the funny side there. Don't often see a player with his sort of build going up for an overhead kick.
Would have been up there for the Pushkas award.
Well, Peter Crouch scored one for Liverpool once, so anything's possible. Romero, the byline, couldn't connect. Goal kick the verdict anyway.
He would be a nightmare as a striker in another life, wouldn't Matt Bozanovsky? They don't make him like them anymore.
Well, maybe in a more agricultural sort of team than Zoran Markovsky's Preston.
True.
Although he has been an emergency striker late in games at times.
And why not? Just to let that strength in the air that he can give. And just as a short on the ball too. Dante continuing to try and play out here, and it just invites so much pressure going the other way.
On the rare occasions they have made it through the press, like this one, they've looked good, but so many turnovers in their own defensive third today. Shari, kind of careless backheel flick at it. And Lazarevsky is wrestled to the ground. Basasa the guilty party. And the Thunder record after today's proceedings, since parting ways with the head coach Adam Pittock, it's going to read 1 win, 1 draw, 10 defeats in 12. So the season has taken a nosedive since his departure, as well as many players leaving the club in the window.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal season for the Thunder. You can either see them really bouncing back next season, coming right back into the NPL, or you can just see it careening in free fall, unfortunately, which is they're in a risky period in their history. And I hope for their sake that they're able to come back and fight back hard, like the Knights have done this year.
Atmosphere at George Andrew is going to be really, really something on a night game in the middle of winter. One of the more fun venues to visit in Victorian football, but it's been a miserable old season for the Thunder. Started relatively competitively, but absolutely nosedived in the second half of the campaign.
And forgive me for the oval ball parlance, but they resemble a lot of Port Adelaide Football Club in the way that they're just straight up vibes and the passion that they elicit and just how parochial that they are. It can resemble something like an Adelaide Oval on its best, to be fair, George Andrews Reserve.
Yeah, it can have that claustrophobic feel. The fans are right on top of you, almost on the pitch.
But it also must be so exhausting being the coach of that football club too, just how much rides on that position. And I think that's what maybe David Chick found in the past and Adam Pittock now.
Gilroy out to Chianchi, who opens up his stride. Chianchi Romero! And it won't sit for Lazarevsky. Alvarez clears his lines. Now, Markovsky offering on the rights. Negro. Somehow the ricochet works out for Romero. Mielides, and now Lazarevsky straight at the goalkeeper.
Been good today leading the line. Dandy on the break here.
Bit of space for the Thunder to exploit in transition. Basasa going to get numbers forward quickly enough. Stefan Negro losing his footing. Terasaka for Maniac. Basasa getting back to his feet. As the shadows lengthen here. In the late afternoon sun. Kachari. Basasa. Terasaka. Maniac against two. Can he wriggle free? Not quite. Stefan Negro left holding his ribs. Mielides. Burke Gilroy accelerates away. It's Anthony Burke Gilroy to strike, and almost fumbled by Alvarez. But he does gather the second attempt. Anthony Burke Gilroy nearly with a debut goal to remember.
And quite the dream scenario here for Preston. Famous last words and all that, but no injuries to speak of. 3-0. It's hard to imagine a more perfect day out for the Preston fans in attendance and everyone watching, and of everyone of the Preston persuasion watching on YouTube. Good afternoon to you all. But quite the opposite would have been them falling behind early on and having to claw back, or just having tricky conditions. They can't script this any better for the red and yellow.
An 8:30 kickoff this Wednesday against Melbourne City looms large. Could move 6 points clear inside the finals places. And the result there. Given that the table doesn't tell the full story for Preston, they could well be contenders for the title if they do make the finals.
Yeah, ridiculous points decisions aside, this is a side that is very much in a one-off contest in finals, just looking further ahead. This is a side you don't want to come up against. Just based on everything, strength of schedule, based on the strength of depth. Preston is not a side that a team will want to take lightly in any sense, or even meet in finals.
Feels like the team who draws them in round one is probably drawing the short straw, given how Preston are in such form. This will be 14 games unbeaten. 12 of those are wins in all competitions.
Ridiculous numbers being put on the board. You can point to Preston and the way that they've recruited, and you can make what you will of that. But again, a club of this, with this ambition of this scale, they're raising the standards, I think, across the NPL Victoria. A rare chance here for Dandy.
Lazarevsky away as far as Ismaili. And a hopeful attempt is seen wide by Mayan. Changes off the pine. The Thunder coming late. It's George Yanakarios and Steven Sabanda on for Frank Basasa and Kotaro Yamamoto.
Just trying to see this out as best as they can here, Dandy. Just a bit more fresh legs and a bit impetus going forward.
Darting running behind from Lazarevsky. Wasilewski went with the direct route.
He's played fullback, he's played as a winger, now as a centre-back, Zach Wasilewski. So versatile. And yet again, another addition that Preston are boasting through the mid or the late season transfer window.
This catch-up game with Melbourne City taking place on Wednesday, because Melbourne City at the time had 5 players away on international duty. Irony being that they're unlikely to have anywhere near as strong a squad available on Wednesday as they would have had when the game was originally scheduled, because of the players involved in A-League pre-season.
Well, Australia Cup duties as well, but that's no longer the opportunity now going forward after the loss to Lions. But I don't know, it's funny how the calendar works out, it's funny how football works out, and you're right, it should have been better off earlier in the season, but alas, here we are.
We'll see how many of the first team players they make available for that game, as Markovski cuts it back to Burke Gilroy. Sabanda, anywhere will do. It's just going to be game after game for Preston. One final after another.
I think as a player, it's what you'd live for, wouldn't it? In terms of that means less training work, which is just, and at this point in the season, it's, and the way it's happening and the time in which it's happening, I think it's just a situation. I think that's still a welcome one if you're a player. It has to be. I know there's, I know they're part. Again, this is part time as NPL Victoria. We know all of that, but again, the stakes just get even higher. And I think as a player, you have to relish those moments.
Preston still contending for 3 trophies, plus the Australian Championship. They've lifted one in the Doherty Cup. Lazarevsky. Suto. Into the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup. Contending for finals places in NPL Victoria, although the Premiership is well out of reach. One to be decided between Oakley and Hume, probably sooner rather than later. It's going to be Mihalides to deliver the corner. Good delivery too. Bozanovsky couldn't connect. Sabanda clearing Dandy Thunder's lines. Burke Gilroy. Sprayed out to Mihalides. Markovski wants it early. It's Jonas Markovski. With the left-footed strike. Charged down by Merson Mehmeti.
You could have well have had 4 or 5 this afternoon, Markovski, particularly in some of the chances in the first half too. The match ball well and truly his, as you pointed out, Josh.
Terasaka. Kachari's through ball. Mayan thought that took a touch off the attacker. The Dandy Thunder throw instead. Arian Kachari, 1 minute up to end this second half. The Dandy Thunder, I think they're just waiting for the final whistle. Preston have done a very professional job. Mehmeti. Maniak. And gathered by Mine. Alat Maniak has really been the only outlet for Dandy Thunder today.
A thankless task that he's had to carry, unfortunately, but what a star he is in the offing, a star in the making, and I think we've been able to see that this season. Fingers crossed that he is able to stay in the NPL Victoria in 2027. I don't deny that there'll be a shortage of clubs looking for his signature.
And that's full time. And warm applause around the ground here at Geneseo Stadium as Preston secure the 3 points they so badly needed in their race for finals football. An undermanned and probably undermotivated Dandy Thunder today, already relegated, put up little resistance. It was Jonas Markovski who was the star of the show. A perfect hat-trick, a soaring header to kick things off, then beating Luis Alvarez at his near post with a left-footed snapshot for the second. In the second half, he was well found by Luca Tavia after Preston won the ball high up the pitch, and his finish was unerring to claim the match ball and claim the 3 points for Preston. Dandy Thunder only mustering 2 shots all afternoon. It was a Preston barrage. They could have scored more in truth, but 3 will do nicely for the Lions. The final score is Preston 3, Jonas Markovski 3, Dandenong Thunder 0. Katie, it's a big month coming up for Preston, and this has set them up nicely.
Perfectly. You can't ask for a better start to this. You can't script a late season performance better than this one, to be fair. Professional, calm, on their home deck. You know, it could be forgiven for pressure being put on them, given the schedule that awaits them. You would have detected none of that today. No fatigue. In terms of the man management, in terms of like the squad management, perfect from Zoran Markovski and co today. Well executed from front to back. Preston just formidable, and again, bigger and much sterner tests away, but this is a great way to kick it off.
Well, only 4 players retained their places from midweek. There were 7 changes, and the 4 players who did start have all been substituted in that second half. So Preston able to keep the legs fresh ahead of the visit of Melbourne City on Wednesday night. 8:30 kickoff here at Geneseo Stadium. Preston fans, get out in force for that one. It is such an important game in the race for finals positions. But we'll sign off here on the Senol NPL Victoria live stream. The final score, Preston Lions 3, Dandenong Thunder 0.